A lot of you guys will recognise this M235i. However, I've bought a new car. And a lot of you would have seen the last video on the channel. Unfortunately, my new car is not this OG M2. However, this thing is absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, for a lot of you viewers on the channel, I've joined the dark side, as some people like to say. I now own a B58.
Oh, hell no.
So I think you guys have waited long enough. Here's the reveal.
I don't wanna just get by in life before we die. Single time, no chances to...
So welcome back to the channel, guys. As you would have seen from that little montage there, I now own an M240i. Now this car wasn't mine, but now I can officially say I own it. And I know a few of you guys, especially the subscribers for a long time turn of this channel, who have subscribed for N55 content, are going to be a little bit disappointed. However, like I have mentioned, the N55 content is not stopping. In fact, we're going to be making loads of videos on an even better N55. Now you would have seen this M240i before on the channel, however, not in the state that it's in. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly everything I've done. And I'll tell you guys now, this car is one hell of a machine. But a lot of you may be thinking, what's happening to the M235i? Because it's looking a little bit sorry for itself. The M235i is actually up for sale currently. So if you want to buy it, it is for sale. By all means, shoot me an offer. However, the wheels are off because I was getting them all rebalanced, ready for a new owner. I made a video discussing recently whether to keep this or to buy the B58, and unfortunately we kind of discovered in that video that everything has been done on this car and we've had as much fun as we possibly can. And now it's time to progress because we've got an OG LCI M2 as well as an M240i. Now most of you wouldn't have seen this M240i in the state that it is in currently. If you follow the Instagram, you would have seen a few updates here and there as well as the TikTok. However, today I'm showing you exactly what's been done because this car tops the M235i on another level. Now, first off, I think we'll start with two of the most obvious things, and that is the registration plate and the wheels. Let's start off with the registration plate. Now, in the UK, you can't actually get a reg plate which has your name and stuff like that. You can in some cases, however, it's a crazy amount of money. When I saw this one for sale, it had to be done. So let me know what you think to the reg, AB58 day. I personally think that is really, really cool, and that's why it had to be put on this car in particular. Moving on to the wheels. If you guys are keen viewers, you would have noticed that these wheels used to be black. However, I wasn't a fan of them in black, and I've done them in silver, and I think it's transformed the car to another level. And yes, the car is absolutely filthy. Both cars are in desperate need for a clean. However, look at that stance with the J-hook discs. We've also got the anniversary badges on the alloys, Michelin tyres, yellow DRLs, as well as the Bilstein shocks inside there. What a setup. Quickly moving on to the M2. What do you guys think to silver wheels on this? Would you like to keep the diamond cut as they are right now? However, I think they'll look really good in silver. And yes, the next job after filming this video is to get this thing cleaned because it's been going green laning with the amount of dirt that's on the side of it. And from the rear, the car looks even better as well. Again, the registration plate combined with the alloys, the fitment and everything is absolutely spot on. Now let's move on to a few of the luxurious modifications that have been fitted to this car. There's quite a lot of carbon fibre on this car. Now we'll start off straight away with this genuine BMW carbon fibre spoiler. This is the exact same spoiler on the M2. As you guys can see, the spoiler on these are basically identical. I don't think there's any changes between them both. Now the next thing, of course, is the diffuser. Combined with these carbon fibre M Performance tips, we've got full carbon fibre on the whole rear of the car. We've got the diffuser, which is absolutely incredible, and then we've also got these M Performance tips with carbon fibre around the edges, which looks insane. And if you guys want to get some tips like I've got here, be sure to check out B58 Bible, linked below. You can get your tips from there. That's where I got them from, and trust me, they're good quality and they transform the look of the car. This thing would look 10 times better if it were clean. However, the UK roads are not very forgiving for clean cars at the moment. And then we've basically got kind of standard stuff. We've got Michelin Pilot Sport 5s all round. The side skirts, we've got carbon fibre M mirror caps as well as a front splitter, and the M2 kidney grills to kind of match the M2 up there. Now, moving on to the B58. Trust me when I tell you guys that this intake is absolutely incredible. Look at this thing. We've got carbon fibre on the rear as well as even in the engine bay. Now, I actually didn't fit this intake purely because I think it's too much money for actually what it is itself. It's about £1,200 here in the UK, which is absolutely insane for an air intake. However, you do pay for what you get. I can't explain what this thing sounds like on camera. You need to hear it in person. It's absolutely mega. And combined with the pure carbon fibre look that you get, it is unreal. And it is going to be really hard for you guys to see, but there's an actual full carbon fibre scoop which travels directly to the air intake that's also behind the grills that you guys can't see, unfortunately. If you guys want to see a full video on just pure intake noises with this and actually how good it is, then be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll get that done for you. Apart from that, engine-wise, this B58 is pretty stock compared to the M235i. We have a very, very nice sports cat down there, and then pretty much the whole engine bay is completely stock apart from that air intake. I am running an OTS MHD Stage 2 tune just to see what it was kind of like to drive with that compared to the N55. I may map it down though because this car is stupidly fast. Again, one thing on the cards is to get this car and the M2 that is behind me on the dyno to see what both cars pull. Be really intrigued to see flywheel and also wheel horsepower on both the N55, in the M2 and the B58. Engine wise, we're pretty much done inside of here. Next up is to show you guys some of the interior inside this F22. And I'm purely making this video just to give you guys some ideas because there's so much potential with these F22 chassis, and I feel like I've done so much of it on the N55 in the M235i. I kind of want to experiment and try new stuff on the M240i. Did have to go for the best spec I could possibly get with this car. We've got the full multifunction steering wheel, Harman Kardon, 6-speed manual with the M Performance shifter, which is absolutely insane. And then again, if you guys haven't seen my video on the full Alcantara trims that were fitted all around the car, you can see here these things are absolutely delightful. The only thing this thing doesn't have is heated seats, and that is a real shame. However, we have got the full Pro Nav, which is a massive bonus. Now, quite a few of you may be thinking, Ethan, why did you choose the manual considering you've had a manual M235i, you've gone to an M240i and that's manual too? The ZF is a really good gearbox. Now, I did make a video on why I only choose manual BMWs. That will be linked in one of the corners of the top screen if you guys want to see it. However, I explained in that video that the automatic just isn't for me at this time. The first car I drove before I bought the M235i was an automatic M240, and in town it was absolutely perfect. In the city, best car ever. However, like I mentioned in that video, where I live, manuals are just the way to go for me at the moment. And personally, driving this thing round track, being able to go through all the gears with the automatic rev match on, which is a cheat code, and I may be turning it off. Personally, I don't think you can beat it. So I think next up, before anything else, is sound clips. It wouldn't be one of my videos, like I've said every time, if we didn't get some exhaust tones and actually some anti-lag, etc. So what I'm going to do now is start this thing up. We'll set up the camera and hopefully get some good clips for you guys. Let's get a quick one from in person with the door open here. Well, there we have it. We've got the air intake sounds with the Eventury air intake, as well as the exhaust sounds. This thing sounds like death. It is the most menacing engine I've ever heard. We are done with this now, though. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, what's the actual plan for this car then? Because there's been quite a lot of stuff done. Track days. I want to take this car on track as much as possible. Now, we discussed for a very long time oil starvation issues on the N55, and I did track that car. I did 2 times Nürburgring yearly trips with it, as well as Castle Combe, which is a UK racetrack, and there were no issues. However, with this thing, we don't have to worry about oil starvation at all. And again, the B58 is pretty bulletproof, but you've still got to maintain it. You've still got to make sure the oil's on max and make sure you look after the engine. And I know some stuff about B58s, but I know nowhere near as much as I do on the N55. So if you guys have any points of information, be sure to leave some comments. The one plus thing I do see with this engine compared to the N55 is I think it's a charge-cooled intercooler. Don't quote me on that because I don't officially know. However, I have noticed this has had no modifications cooling-wise to have cooler air temps. it runs at like 25 degrees Celsius air intakes temps doing pulls on a stage 2 tune, which to me is really good. I was getting them with an upgraded intercooler on the N55. But for a lot of you people who have subscribed, the N55 isn't going anywhere. We're going to be doing so much to that OG M2, and personally, it is one of the best N55s I've ever heard. With the M Performance back box on that thing, it's unreal. It tops the sound of this B58 every day of the week. So now I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think I've made a mistake, or do you think this is a worthy upgrade considering the N55 is a little bit older, a few more miles on it, and I've kind of had my fun? I will put one clip on screen though of the M235i. Last winter on a private road, there was absolutely no wind, and listen to this clip on screen now because this thing was screaming. Not this car, unfortunately, the M235i, which is all the way over there looking sorry for itself. But it definitely was one of the best sounding cars I have ever owned. And unfortunately, I don't actually think the B58 can top it. The N55, in my opinion, is BMW's best sounding inline 6 engine. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video today. If you want to see a load more content on the car, be sure to check out the TikTok and the Instagram, both linked in the description of this video. And apart from that, you guys can like the video, you can subscribe to see loads more content like this, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching today. Catch you in the next one.